Hey everyone, this is Andrew, and this is a walkthrough of how to use Heyday, my focus and attention tool for Google Chrome. So this is a quick walkthrough that I'll take you through right now. Okay, so after you click install in the Google Chrome store, you will be taken to a onboarding page, which should look like this. So this is a quick tour that will walk through how to use the app. First things first, I always ask people to pin the Heyday icon to the menu bar so you can just access it at any time. So you can go through the tour, check out the features, and sort of get a sense of what the app is like from this tour. But let's get started and check it out. So the first time you log in, you'll be sent to this Getting Started page, which will kind of walk you through the core elements of Heyday and how to use it. It's really simple, so if it seems like a lot, it's actually very little. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to choose the sites that we want Heyday to work on. So let's click Choose Sites. Right away on your first install, we've created some presets for you to use or delete, but it's sort of a way to get you started. So let's dive into your starter site list. So the site list is kind of the core engine of Heyday, and it breaks down the various different categories and websites that you can apply the different impacts like block or decolor or simplify to. So it's broken down into different categories. You can add categories, you can remove categories. Let's open up some of them. So let's check out gambling. So by default on this list, we have all gambling sites set to block. And you can trigger something on and off by just that way. For news reading sites, so these are just a big long list of news sites, we've got it set to reader mode. And I'll show you what reader mode looks like in a second. So you can kind of see how you can trigger and mix and match. If you wanted to add shopping, so maybe you want to block Amazon, or limit the amount of time that you spend on it, you can turn on limit function. You can set, say, the amount of time you spend on it or the visit limit you spend on it. So let's set it to visit limit. Okay, so after that, you can just press done. So that's like the first core feature is site lists. And there's a few different lists that have been set up. And then inside of that, there are impacts that you apply. So block, decolor, simplify, reading, and limit. The next area to check out would be the schedules. So schedules are when site lists are active. So we have a few presets as well set up for you that you can turn on or off. The current one is just a schedule that your starter site list, which you can see right here, is set to run the entire day. So it's running the entire day, every day of the week. And say if you wanted to create your own, my first schedule, you could do that and you could set a site list there. And maybe this is like a work schedule. So it's only Monday to Friday and it's 9 to 5. So that's pretty good. And then you can turn off the other schedules right now. So right now you have a site list that's working, your starter site list, and you have a schedule that is active. So Heyday is currently now like ready to go and it'll start working the moment you go to any of these sites. So let's check out to see how that works. So let's pick a few. Let's check out some social media. Okay, let's go to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has a few different features on board. So right now, LinkedIn it looks like it's been set to Grayscale. So this is the first impact that I want to talk to you about. It's Grayscale turns everything black and white. At any time, you can see what impacts are active on a site by just going to the little menu icon, and you'll be able to see what schedule is active, how long it's active for, as well as a few options like pausing, removing restrictions, or triggering read mode. Right now, you can kind of see the active impacts. You could remove them. See, it's turned off the black and white. And then the other impact that we have going is Simplify. Simplify is only available on certain websites, but it allows you to customize what features are available. So you can remove the news feeds, you can remove ad banners, news modules. It allows you to remove some of the most distracting elements. So that's what this looks like on LinkedIn. If any time you wanted to pause or remove all the impacts, we've got this big pause button. And we give 3 options, 5, 10, 15 minutes. So let's click 5 minutes. And so you can see now that all the website is just regular LinkedIn. You can see all the features as normal. And if you want to resume, you can press either one of these resume buttons and it's back to good. Okay, let's go check out some of the other features. Let's check out what read mode does. So read mode is specifically designed for news websites. One of the things that I really hate when going to a news or a blog website is it's filled with ads. It's really hard to look at. It's really confusing. There's just a lot of things vying for your attention. So read mode is a feature that I built to help simplify a website. So let's go to cbc.ca. And so you can tell, like, CBC is, a classic website filled with tons and tons of visual noise and distraction. But let's go to an article. So I clicked on an article, and the Heyday reader mode shows up. And what it does is it takes the reading content, like the article content, and puts it into this nice reading window. So it removes all the ads, it removes all of the noise, and you can kind of just read it without having to focus on anything else. There's a few other options where you can turn it to black and white mode, or dark mode. So maybe you're reading late at night. You can increase the text size or decrease it, and then you could also copy the entire article for pasting in a document or wherever you want to paste it. There's a few other features that, like, you can just exit out of it and still go back and read the article as is. But on really busy websites, I find it's really, really helpful. Next, let's check out Limit. Okay, so Limit is a really good tool to manage the amount of time that you're spending on certain websites. So let's go back to LinkedIn and put a limit on it. So LinkedIn, there we go. And we're going to do a visit limit. So let's visit a maximum of 10 times. So let's go back to LinkedIn. And so this is 10 times during the course of the schedule that is currently running. And one thing that you'll be able to see and you'll be able to track is, okay, so I've gone to LinkedIn twice today. I've got 8 more visits to go. And over the next couple of times, eventually it'll block me. And so let's check out and see what that looks like. So let's bring this down to, say, 3 visits. Okay, so we're almost done. We'll just have to exit out and then visit again. There we go. Okay, so now we've reached our visit limit for LinkedIn. And so now it'll just block me from going into LinkedIn anymore. And it'll eventually reset at the end of the schedule. But if you, for some reason, needed to get in to any website, you can pause this feature for 5 minutes, and it'll give you access. It's really just to give you a little bit of friction and nudge you away from maybe sites that you shouldn't be spending time on, during your workday or when you're focusing on other things. Okay, other things to comment on. So we've covered Decolour. Block is a lot more straightforward. It's a simple block, so it will just stop you from going to it. So let's see, Bet365 is blocked. And there we go. So it's just completely blocked. And that way, there's no amount of viewing that we want during this schedule. If at any time you want to ensure that a website is always accessible or it's never going to be impacted by Heyday, you can always add it to the ignore column. So for example, we could add, let's go back to LinkedIn, and we could press the ignore column. Ignore column will essentially take off all the restrictions and make it so that it's never limited or colored or things like that. And that can be really handy for websites that you are always using, things like that. So I mean, between the site lists and the schedules, you can actually have quite a lot of powerful different systems. What I like to do, for example, is I will have a few schedules running. I'll have my workday schedule, so sort of 9 to 5. running, all the sites that I need for work, and then blocking everything else that is not associated with that. And then at night, I'll create a sleep schedule. Sleep schedule, it's triggered to turn on from at 11 o'clock, and it will block everything. So I've got a block all list set up. So what does that look like? Let's check it out. Here's what my block all list looks like. It's every category is set to block, except for the music category, which maybe at the end of the night I want to listen to some music to wind down. So I've got that set up, and from there on, I can just know that once it gets to that time, everything will start blocking, and I'll know it's time to go to bed. I've also got digital detox set up so that on Sunday it encourages me to step away from a computer, spend some time outside, and nudge me away from using too many websites and things like that. These are all customizable. They're all optional, so hopefully you can get the most out of them. If you have any questions of like how you're using your time throughout the course of the week, that's what the dashboard is for. So the dashboard will track how much time you're spending on different websites, and it will try and categorize it based on if it's neutral, productive, or distracting. Maybe LinkedIn is really productive for you, so you could always categorize it as productive or neutral or something like that. But at the end of the day, you'll be able to kind of see how much time was spent towards different actions and different elements on your web browser. It's pretty useful for just seeing where your time has gone. And then as you use it over time, you'll be able to track the progress over time. So that's about it for this walkthrough. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out at any time. The best place to email me is hello@heydayfocus.com, or reach out on social media. Thanks.